Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. It is August 28th, and I am delighted you are spending some time with me today. So I probably am the only Trump watcher who actually did not hear about the Deutsche Bank, the Russian cosigners, and Trump and his loans until this morning. I have no explanation. So I thought that I wanted to ask the universe exactly what the heck. So come on down and let's get at this. I want to know. I have a question. Trump, Russia, Deutsche Bank. Trump, Russia, Deutsche Bank. Trump, Russia, Deutsche Bank. I'm just going to push you back a little bit. There we go. Okay, well, this is starting off, of course, with money. Follow the money trail. Trump trying to keep financial transactions hidden. Trump, being dishonest. Everything around the money situation is being looked at and looked at hard. And it's not going to bode well for Trump. I mean, it's simple as that. So the King of Pentacles, I am literally reading as the mercenary with money. So the person who comes in with money to, so these would be the cosigners, because these are the people who have now got their tentacles completely wrapped around Trump and the Trump family. So, and I don't think that it is just Russia. I think we're going to see more and more of this kind of thing coming out with other countries who he has been particularly favorable to, countries that he, perhaps also had strange financial reactions or loans that weren't recorded, possibly other cosigners. So, but it's definitely bigger. It's bigger than what it is right now. And what it is right now is significant. So, his fortune, the wheel, it's changing. And it's not changing to his benefit. It's going to change in a way that creates even more chaos around him and even more like agitation and lashing out. He's getting an offer from somebody that he does not want to take. Now, I don't know if the GOP has sort of behind the scenes tried to read him the riot act. I don't know if one of your adversaries who Trump is in bed with has said, you need to do this. And even Trump, in his most unhinged, recognizes that perhaps that's actually not going to serve him. But there's definitely opportunities or suggestions being made to Trump that, and he is just not wanting them. He is so stuck on the fact that he knows best and he knows everything there is to know that, there's sort of like no talking to the guy, right? Even if there were solutions for, even if there were ways to get out of this, he's not likely to take them. He's not likely to take that opportunity because I think that he, again, feels like he knows best and he knows how to control the situation. And it's interesting because as I look at the Wheel of Fortune, I'm really, really drawn to the figures in the four corners, and all of them have books in front of them. So, documents. There are going to be significant numbers of people who are involved in releasing the document, significant numbers of people who will be reviewing them, and there's probably going to be some rather significant leaks about the documents. So that's interesting. The courts, I think, are in a position. I know some stuff has been done under seal, but at some point, the courts are going to have to decide if what this is in the public interest to know and therefore released. So there's the things with the whole finances with him are just continuing. There's my card for Trump. Things are just continuing to heat up, and the ropes are getting tighter and tighter around him, and so that, well, and we all know what happens when that happens, right? Okay, so things. There is so much that Trump has taken, whether it is money, whether it is taken from the American people. There are so many truths that he has distorted that really at some point you have to question, like, how many of them can actually be fixed and reversed, because the damage is intense, because his only focus is on him. And so the sooner everybody stops thinking he has a human bone in his body and, this is as low as the hole gets, it's not, they're going to be able to find some measure of at least emotional stability, because honestly, there's nothing that you should not expect with this guy. I mean, literally, you have hurricane force winds bearing down on Puerto Rico and into Florida. And literally, as that is happening, there is an announcement that he has taken 155 million or something like that from disaster relief to transfer in to putting the wall, building the wall. So, it doesn't seem to matter. He doesn't care about the optics. It just doesn't matter to him. But the emotional price that he is going to pay for this is not going to, it's like he lives in a bubble where he doesn't see reality. And so these cups here represent strong emotions. They represent reality. They represent, in this case, seeing things slightly differently or being given different information that causes you to look at things differently. As these things start falling, Trump is going to continue to stay, well, I don't know, I didn't do anything wrong. He'll push back and push back. But more and more his support is leaving him. And so, and as that starts to actually penetrate into his consciousness, look out again for the head. It's blood pressure. It's like he cannot handle this level of scrutiny and negative commenting. It agitates him to a point where he's actually putting himself at significant risk. The judgment is going to be just brutal for him. Because part of his story, right, was always about this self-made billionaire, and, he did it on his own. And from what I understand, part of the reason that Trump was given a lot of loans before that he wasn't qualified for and shouldn't have gotten was because there was kind of the understanding that, well, Fred, his dad, would kind of pay it off if there was a problem. And then he blew through a whole bunch of money he got from Dad, in inheritance-wise, and that was all shady and done under the rug. So there was no taxes paid there, right? And then he continued to be, the stellar businessman he is, and he needed more money and more money, and pretty soon people in the United States would not lend him that money, and so he had to go outside, and going outside, he also needed apparently to get some co-signers, and those co-signers came from other countries. And when all of this hits the fan, and it's going to, the judgment on him is going to be brutal. And that may even be part of what triggers him seriously thinking about walking away, about just getting out of that level of scrutiny. He's not completely stupid. He understands that on some level, the more they dig, the more they're going to find. I mean, this loan application that had these other signatures on it, it wasn't being hidden, right? I mean, people within those circles knew, but what went on that was being hidden, that's still under the covers, and he knows that once the digging starts, it will not end. And it actually looks like this could be an energy force that actually starts to gain momentum and causes him to seriously consider figuring out a way to get out. Let's hope. Let's hope. Yep, it's all about the money. It's all about partnerships. And it's all about now being forced to make decisions, either or. He cannot see his way clear. And so when it comes right down to it, the decision he makes is always going to be what serves his highest purpose with regards to partnerships and money. Money and partnerships. So if Russia co-signed the loan and they say, yep, after your presidency is over, we're going to let you build that Moscow tower, that's who he'll side with. If the Saudis say, you know, you do this for us and we'll continue to support you financially in a variety of ways, but you need to do this, that's what he'll do. It's never about anything beyond his security, his safety, his reputation, and most of all, his money. You know, that would be a sad thing for that to be the truth of literally almost anybody, that their life is so shallow and so empty that everything boils down to those components. What works best for me and how much money will I make, or how much money can I scam from somebody? It's kind of a sad way to live. But when you are talking, for God's sakes, about the president of the United States, it is truly, you know, scary and sad, right? I mean, okay, so, yeah, a lot of information coming out, a lot of new kind of investigations, new talking about it, new energy is going to be given to his finances. It's going to trigger, you know, defensive reactions from him trying to protect, and frankly, he is almost completely out of ways in which he can protect himself. And he's trying desperately, you know, to change the topic and get into calmer waters, stiller waters, but I don't see that happening for him. It's going to continue to become amplified. The energy, you know, that is sort of going after him and wanting to know what the heck, continues to build and build and build. Okay, it's not getting any weaker or dissipating at all. So I'm just putting these cards back in here. I would like to just see if we can see if how much blowback there's going to be on this from both the Republicans and the Democrats. Just want to see. So I guess really what I'm asking for is reactions as this information becomes better and better known. So reactions to Trump's finances, reactions to Trump's finances, reactions to Trump's finances. You know, it's a hard thing, right, for the Republicans because it's a hard thing for the Republicans because they're just as dirty. They have sticky fingers in their pockets too. So, glass houses throwing stones, right? Okay, so I'm reading this card the exact same way I read it before. New growth in the areas of his money, new investigations, new information coming out, more information coming out, a lot of communication about that information. It's going to literally almost create a situation where it's going to be very, very hard to keep any emotional balance about this, because it is so egregious to most people, except, of course, that very small segment of the population who don't give a dang. They just want life to go the way they want it to go. They want their rules, their beliefs supported and protected. So read this, evangelicals, read this, the GOP, read this, the bad actors. Everybody just wants this to go back. Read this, the courts and the judges, okay? So that's kind of where they're at. They don't care. And then you have kind of literally the rest of the planet going, oh my God, can this literally get any worse? Because he is completely showing his disloyalty to anybody other than him and perhaps Russia and, the other countries that have probably given him money and or supported him in one way or another. And he simply cares not. So... yeah, okay, so let's just see. Yeah, okay. So you have the Four of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. Again, this is the White House. It's looking like the bad news is going to not stop. There's going to be more people moving away from him, even some Republicans who feel like already it can't be literally any worse. He's going to try to retreat, but he's actually not going to be able to get very far. And there he is, the Fool. So much new information coming from this, and it's not going to serve him well. It's going to upset him. He's going to be annoyed. But what are the Democrats going to do about this? What are the Democrats doing? Okay, they continue the hard work. They're setting it up so that they have the calmness around them. They have the information around them. They have the truth around them to bring the emperor down. So they're going to continue working quietly behind the scenes. I'm sure there will be a few people as some of this information becomes sort of proven completely. That they're going to start making some statements and questioning his loyalty to the United States and et cetera, et cetera. But they are working diligently in the background to continue to find the truth and be able to present that truth in a calm way to the American people. This is part of that yellow brick road that he's going to walk down, that's going to take him straight to Oz. The curtains are going to be opened, and behind those curtains, what you have is an emperor with no clothes, or, the wizard in his underwear, all right? So this is the beginning of the end. It's the beginning of where things are finally starting to fall into place in a way that is going to bring so much illumination, so much truth, and strength, and money, and the law, all of his across the seas, Business relationships. Here comes justice. Can only hang on to so much. It's going to lose a whole lot. All of those deals, a lot of that information is going to come out. And there you have it. Partnerships. Collapsing of him, his empire, his world as he knows it. Because not only in many ways does he not behave exactly like a really, really negative force, he also sleeps with those same people. Don't be surprised if that hot, sweaty, anxious, rambling Donald Trump starts making more and more frequent appearances, trying to calm things down. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. He's trapped. Okay. So, this is good. Let's continue to hope more information comes out, because there's certainly every indication that it's going to. And let's prepare for some interesting times ahead. So for now, that's it. That's all. Thank you again so much for supporting this channel. It is greatly appreciated. I just hit my 4,000th subscriber. So yay! Very exciting. And I, of course, thank you for that. Until next time, take care. Be well. And we'll see you really soon. Bye.